It's been a week since the Tour de France. The Olympic Games are underway. I'm here where we were last time, a few years ago. I'll be joining the athletes in the City of Light next week in Paris, where we'll recap and review everything once it's all done. For now though, let's have a look back to the Tour and have a look at that wonderful story that was Mark Cavendish at his 35 stage wins.
Mark Cavendish is there, there's a crash behind, Mark Cavendish, this is history, this is history. First there was Merckx, now it's Mark Cavendish, standing on the shoulders of giants.
What do you think your legacy is going to be on our sport?
I don't know really, I don't think that's for me to say really, is it? You know, I just do what I do, love riding my bike. I hope other people enjoy this sport, either riding or watching as much as I do. You know, and that's what will make me happy.
Going further than anybody had ever gone before. One for the history books.
Yeah, it's incredible what he's done, you know. The legacy he'll leave behind is unbelievable.
When I was a kid, I watched him in television. It's super nice to get to know him, and he won 35 and I still fight for my first one.
Made my career not as good as it could have been because he beat me a lot.
I was watching him while I was very young, growing up and looking up to him. It's been great riding last few years against him.
Saw him first on television basically, and then now we've been riding with him in a bunch for so long. Yeah, it was already, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago, and he's still winning a stage in the Tour is unbelievable. Yeah, world's best sprinter.
I can promise you, you will never ever forget this moment. We have witnessed history.
Well, that was a special story, wasn't it? Mark Cavendish was to be found many a day in the Gruppetto. Of course, that's us. So let's have a Gruppetto trip to the Gruppetto, shall we? To see exactly how it's formed, how they get home every day.
Pain on the Col de Persaud. I'm just behind Mark Cavendish and David Ballerini. Behind me is Fernando Gaviria, Arnaud Demar, Gerben Tyson, and one or two of the other sprinters. This is going to be such a difficult day for the fast men. These 8 riders now are riding as one to save their respective tours. They're going to have to ride very, very hard to make the time cut, which we estimate is going to be around 49 minutes.
This is going to be a real struggle, and we do watch to see whether the sprinters can make it to the finish line.
It's about mitigating at the moment, building a little bit of a cushion, and then going all in on the climb, which is going to be absolutely brutal. 5 kilometres to go now for the Mark Cavendish group. Still got his 3 teammates with him for company, who pretty much all the time are dousing him with bidons. They're taking bidons, bottles of water from the side of the road to keep him cool, forcing his way up this climb, urged on by the crowd. It is quite magnificent to see. It's heartwarming to see the amount of support that Mark Cavendish and the other riders, of course, have got from the side of the road here. 2Ks to go, 2Ks to go. Come on, Mark! Cheering his name. You're nearly there, mate, come on. You're nearly there, Mark. Get on that wheel, bud. Final kilometre now. You've got this. I think they're going to make it.
Or he's going to need the rest day.
He is putting himself through hell to get to the finish line.
I don't think I've ever seen him fight so hard to stay in contention in this race. We thought it was going to be the final chapter of Mark Cavendish's historic run in the Tour de France, but it isn't the last chapter. We've turned another page, and I witnessed it. It's not brought me close to tears. Well done, Mark. He's off. His teammates support him. Alexei Lutsenko pouring water over his back all the way through. But what a story. Absolutely amazing. He lives to fight another day.
Now, we're not far off moving from one Tour de France to another. As soon as the Olympic flame is extinguished in Paris, it will begin all again at the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. From Rotterdam to Alpe d'Huez, we'll be looking at all of the best riders in the world. One of them is Lorena Wiebes, who'll be looking to add to her 18 victories this season. With 13 race wins so far in 2024, Lorena Wiebes is a standout favourite for the Olympics road race and the points classification at the Tour de France Femmes. Her preparation for the biggest month of her racing life so far isn't just about time on the bike, however. At a training camp in June, Wiebes stayed in a hypoxic hotel where oxygen levels can be controlled to mimic the effects of staying at altitude.
So we did this test in the beginning when I arrived, and I started at 1800 meters. And I did another test to see how big the steps can be. So I sleep with this every night, and then every morning I have to bring it down, and they check or they analyze the whole night. And then they can say, like, you can go higher or you have to stay at this level. I'm now at 2400 meters. Got changed yesterday, and now it's the 5 days that they see how it's going, and then maybe I go to 2600. I hope it benefits me to have a bit the same as the altitude camp, but not in the mountains, but just at sea level, so I can train normal, don't have to ride up every time the mountain. And so I have to spend a bit more time in my room, but it's completely fine for me.
Lorena Wiebes, Marianne Vos. Lorena Wiebes wins stage 1. History is made.
For me it was always kind of a dream to win on the Champs-Élysées, because it's the race for the sprinters. That's why I hope actually to have again this year the chance to be in yellow. And maybe you realize it more and keep it maybe a few more days. I didn't realize at that moment how special it was, but you realize it later. How special it was to have that first yellow jersey, because at a day like that everything goes so fast.
But there's going to be absolutely no doubt the green jersey takes a second stage win. Lorena Wiebes wins stage 5.
The goal for the team is of course a yellow jersey the Demi, but for me it will be also a small goal to get that green jersey. And yeah, if you want to have it, you need to finish the race. Now I had some bad luck with the crash in the first year and getting sick in the second year of the Tour de France. But hopefully everything will be fine, and the most important is to be in the time limit on the Alpe d'Huez. The Olympics and the Tour de France are close to each other, but I think it's better because you can keep the shape from the Olympics towards the Tour de France. Still preparing now, and yeah, you hope to be at your best shape. The trainings are going well, but you always have to see how it's in racing.
The Tour de France Femmes takes place over 7 grueling stages. It finishes on the Alpe d'Huez, so we thought we'd check out the final stage of what promises to be a really tough race.
So after the first flat section of the race, we're now heading into the mountains. We're at the bottom of the Col de Glandon, a climb of almost 20k and a lot of sections above 10%. For sure, a lot of damage will be done on this climb. The middle part of the climb isn't the hardest, but you have to remember that the climb is nearly 20 kilometers long, and that the steepest part is right at the very end. We're 5 kilometers away from the top now, and it's only getting steeper. It's 8% right now, we're going to 10. We're into the last 2 kilometers of the climb right now, and these are very, very steep. Because we're getting higher, you also feel that you're getting less oxygen. Everybody will be on their limits here, and we will definitely see who are the strongest in the race from this moment on. We're at the top of Col de Glandon right now, and I think there won't be a rider crossing the top alone. The descent is quite difficult, there's twice a part uphill, and ideally you have a teammate with you in the descent and all the way to Alpe d'Huez.
So we're now heading into the second uphill part of the descent, and even though we come into it with quite some speed, we all know standing up on your pedals in a descent, you will feel the lactate burning in your legs.
We're now at the bottom of the descent, heading into the flat part towards Alpe d'Huez. So we're now at the bottom of the very last climb of this Tour de France, the Alpe d'Huez, famous for its 21 corners, and the first 2 kilometers are the steepest of the whole climb. I expect directly from the start fireworks. So behind me you see the famous Dutch corner, corner 7. And if the race is not decided before now, with all the spectators cheering the women on, I expect this is a good moment for an attack. I've just passed the finish line on top of Alpe d'Huez. I'm sure it will be a brutal stage and riders will come in one by one. This is the place where the final winner, the yellow jersey winner of this Tour de France, will be crowned.
So the Olympics to come, I promise we'll recap and review everything that's happened once the game's finished in all of the different disciplines. We've got loads more cycling to come right now, which you can see on this graphic that'll show what's coming up on the home of cycling. From here though, from Tokyo, I'm about to head to Paris. We'll see you there. We'll see you at the Olympic Games from the Gruppetto this week, and its special Far East edition. It's goodbye.